for the exercise number 4, let us do the second one. Let us do another example. Now we are going to have the same type of the math formula. Now we are using the multiplex, we'll be using the multi-slot TDM. So in case of the multi-slot TDM, the slots, there will be more slots now, because now we are breaking those bigger ones into smaller ones. Okay, we are breaking those bigger ones into some smaller ones. We are increasing the number of the slots, because now we know in the previous case we could have in 4 bits. Now there would have been the cases of the 5. Now there will be the 5 slots together. So using that concept, now let us solve this math. We have the 4 channels, 2 with the bit rate of 200 kbps and 2 with the bit rate of 150 kbps. Are they going to multiplex using the 5 slots of the TDM? Now we know that for the multi-level and multiple slots TDM, the numbers should be an integer multiple of each other. Now we know that 200 and 150 are not integer multiples of one another, but we can make some kind of progress. If we can make those 200 into a multiple of 550, and we can also make those 150 into some multiples of the 50, then we could use both of them together, because both of the numbers 200 and 150, they are the multiples of a common number of the 50. Okay, so they are the common numbers of the 50. And now let us do the same example. Now we could have in the first one, we had the 4 channels. Let me draw the 4 channels using the, so this is my first 2 channels with a bit 100 of 200. Okay, and that would be my 150. Now we're going to split them into some slots, or into some demultiplex unit of the 50 in total. Okay, now let us split them in some 50s. So we know that from a 200, if we want to split by a interval of the 50, we would make them 4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will be 50, 50, 50, 50, right? And the same cases from here. So that will be another 450s. So how many 450s we have? I think now we have 850s, right? And then let's just divide those things also. So 150 into a portion of the 50, that will be 350s, and then again we will have the 350s over there. So we have 650s, and then we have 850s. So all of them will be multiplexed together. So we will have 14, right? We instead of the sending 4 channels, now we are assuming, now we're mimicking a 14 channels. Each of them 14 channels, each of them is now on the 50 kbps, right? Each of them are now on the 50 kbps. So instead of sending 4, now we're sending a mimic version. We're sending an equivalent version of the 14 channels. 8 derived from the 200 and 6 derived from the 150. Okay, now let us do this math. What is the size of the frame? Is nothing mentioned. If nothing mentioned, then you can assume that we are multiplexing 1 bit at a time. So what is the size of the frame? Now we know that in the synchronous TDM, we would have the slot number is equal to, in a frame, we could have slot numbers into the number of the input channels. Now we have the 14 input channels, so you can assume there will be 14 frames. 14 slots, and there will be no synchronization fit. So the frame size, the frame will be 14 bits. The size of the frame will be 14 bits. So the very first answer, the question number A's answer, is going to be 14 bits. Okay, what is the frame rate? Okay, frame rate is equal to the input rate, because we don't know the input duration, the frame duration yet. So it will be the input rate 50 kbps divided by the multiplex unit. If nothing mentioned, we can safely assume there will be 1 bit at a time, 1 bit multiplex or 1 bit interleaved at a time. So that will be our 50 kiloframes kfps per second. So the question number D is done. Let's do for the question number C. What is the duration of a frame? Simply reverse it 1 by 50 kfps. So let us say what it goes. So that will be your total 20 microsecond. And what is the D? Question number D, what is the data rate? We know the data rate could be used both of the formulas, because now we don't have any kind of synchronization bits. So we have 14 channels, and each of the channel would carry 50 kbps. So basically that will be the 700 kbps, or it is equivalent to 0.7 mbps. Okay, both of the answers for the. So this is a short example of the multiple slot Tdm, where we split the channels, where we split into some smaller ones.